and put it and try to wedge it underneath the rope so the rope doesn't cut into the snow and ice, and eventually that victim's just going to kind of get stuck right on the edge. So if you create something that the rope could go over, it'll make the rescue smoother. Once again, not always an option, just pointing it out. Second prusik rope. You don't need to use the carabiner style prusik knot right here. I'm only showing it to show the difference that you can do. You can do another prusik knot like we did up by our anchor, or this heavier duty one that we showed inside earlier. This. Here's our prusik knot. From here, we can install our pulley on the rope. Why the pulley? Just makes it easier. You don't have to do this, it just makes it easier. Mechanical advantage. Now, that is our pulley system. From here, ideally we would undo our tie-in knot. Be careful, if it's a horrible situation, don't undo the knot, just tie in again. You want to shorten this. You don't want to do this by hand. You want to do this by way of climbing. And from here, tie all your knot up, and then you can climb uphill towards your anchor, pulling your victim. Once this gets a little bit loose, you have to undo this prusik. We've pulled the weight off of our victim, or let me say that again. We've pulled the victim a little bit, releasing the tension on our prusik. Now the system is, I guess, loaded, you can say, and it's all on this munter hitch. Now we can get rid of our prusik. Get off, turd. And we can pull the victim up the hill. Once we get, if one pull is not enough, we get this pulley all the way up to where we can reset things. And more than likely, if you still can't see your victim, or you can't, or you have to make this setup again, put the prusik back on, take the weight off, or put the weight of the victim side of the rope on the prusik so you can reset this pulley system. But Derek, I still can't lift up the victim or victims with this one pulley. Take your rope, come back up, and go through the carabiner or the anchor or another anchor, and now you'll be pulling downhill, but you'll have another pulley. You can do that as many times as necessary, so the mechanical or the pulley advantage is there. So to recap, arrest the fall, set a prusik on your anchor that you've made in the snow or the ice with a picket or your ice axe, and we'll talk about anchors momentarily. Create the munter hitch, head down the rope towards your victim, tie another prusik knot with your carabiner and pulley optional, head upstairs towards your anchor, remove the prusik, and begin the rescue. If you have to reset with that prusik. You can always add pulleys to make it easier. I think that's it for that rescue. I think that's pretty much there. Alright, now we're done with the Z-line drag. I wanted to talk about mechanical replacements before we went on with the other rescue that we're going to talk about. The mechanical replacements are the tie block or tib block that we've talked about earlier. This piece can replace a prusik. You can see why it's desirable. It's small, it's light, it's easy to carry, it's not real heavy and bulky. This can replace any prusik knot. You need to know how to do the prusik knot, but a good replacement. Also, this can replace a munter hitch, because this will bite one way and not the other. So this is a mechanical replacement for a prusik, and it's a mechanical replacement for the munter hitch. Another mechanical replacement for the munter hitch is the gree-gree. This is a belay device that we use for rock climbing when we're top rope climbing, and our belay person uses the gree-gree to keep the climber safe. You can use this as a mechanical replacement to the munter hitch as well. Derek has an ascender that you can also use as a mechanical replacement. These things are expensive. The gree-gree specifically is large and bulky, so is Derek's ascender. They work really well. They're really fast. So you can set the system up quicker, and you'll have an easier time doing it, but it's expensive. So that's why not everybody carries that kind of stuff with them. Okay, we are going to show next. Derek's going to show us how to unassisted self-rescue, and that is the worst possible case scenario for yourself. You're in a crevasse, you can't touch the walls, so you can't climb up the walls with your ice axe and your crampons. You're suspended in the middle of the air, and you have to use prusiks to get out. The mechanical replacement, like we've talked about, are the ascender, the gree-gree, and the tie block as a replacement for the prusiks. But this is how to do it with prusiks. Okay, Derek's going to show us the
Pull yourself out of a hole.
Pull yourself out of the hole. Believe it or not, this is where we learned how to do this, was in this tree. So we got the rope set up in the tree. Derek is hanging in the pit. Bummer.
You do your wonderful prusik. Make her pretty.
This is the short prusik. It goes on top of the other prusik knot, and this one you're going to tie in to your carabiner. So that one, yep, down. Clip it in to your carabiner. There. Now you'll see when Derek gets cruising, he's going to set up his other one, but when he starts to climb up the rope, this section of rope here will start to make a big loop and kind of coil below him as he's climbing out of the hole, making a separate second prusik knot. This one's the long rope. Why short and why long? Short for your harness, and the rope, the long one, is for your foot. So you'll be standing in one, and as you stand up the one, you slide your waist up, your short one up the rope, and then you can sit, slide up. There we go. Is it able to sit in it yet?
Kind of, sort of sitting.
All right. This takes a long time. You don't move very fast. You don't go very far in a hurry, but it works.
doesn't work unless you're dangling. Might be too long.
Now you can sit. Stand and make the little gap, and then sit on it and slowly scoot up the rope.
One after the other.
And just like that.
Over and over.
Over and over and over again. Things that, I mean, this is just example. In the event that Derek actually was stuck in a hole, what would happen is, obviously his foot prusik is very, very long. If you made that a bit shorter, you could probably cover more area quicker. This is just an example. So I'm hoping this will at least illustrate the idea of what we're trying to get across, though.